On the news tonight, bill for creation of new local government areas in Ondo makes progress at State Assembly. Abdullahi Ganduje promises internal democracy and reforms on assumption of office as APC National Chairman. President Tinubu calls on United Kingdom to deepen partnership with Nigeria and Africa. And from the foreign scene, United States jury hands death penalty to killer of 11 synagogue members.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Timileyin Falade. A bill for a law to provide for the creation of new local government areas in Ondo State has been committed to the White House Committee of the State House of Assembly for proper scrutiny. While handing over the bill to the committee during plenary, having scaled through second reading, the Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, charged members of the committee to expedite action on the bill for the benefit of the people and the state. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshiliola Adesoya Ajayi now reports.
Following the submission of the executive bill on creation of the new local council development areas to the State House of Assembly, the day's plenary gave the legislators ample opportunity to deliberate on how the move will add value to the people of the state. While declaring the floor open for deliberation, the Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, charged the lawmakers to prioritize the bill.
I therefore implore every one of us to make valid, unbiased, useful contribution that we ensure the passage of this bill into law in good and record time for the benefit of all of us in Ondo State.
The lawmakers, while speaking on the bill, noted that apart from bringing development to the grassroots, it will also help improve the internally generated revenue to the state.
This is a special bill that fought across the 18 local governments and the 26 constituencies. This is a bill that has to do with the progress our dear state.
My sincere belief is the FCDA creation of Ondo State is long overdue.
Mr. Speaker, I crave your indulgence to commend our ever-courageous governor, Arákùnrin Olúwarótìmí Ọdúnayọ̀ Akérédolú, for breaking the genes of failure in local government creation.
This will serve as a means for rapid growth and development for our people, the communities. It is a laudable one.
I'm from Osrc local government. My people from Ilegari will have to access the headquarters by going through the building before getting to a farm. But now all the problems with the creation of this bill is over. And I want to applaud Mr. Governor from being a Mr. Talk-and-Do.
So many viable, revenue generations means and lying fallow in some of our communities on tap. With the creation of additional local government, then the frontiers of our internally generated revenue will be more widened.
While committing the bill to the committee of the whole House, the Speaker stressed that the objective to bring governance closer to the people of the state must be achieved.
The FCDA, when finally created, will seek to complement the functions and roles of the existing local government council. At this juncture, I wish to commend the Akérédolú-led administration for this giant step toward advancing this state.
The much-awaited move by the Ondo State government, which is coming 27 years after the creation of local government areas, will bring about more development to the grassroots as proposed. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Despite all government need to throw spanners in the works, including court injunctions and long-drawn negotiation meetings, the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has proceeded with its protest against fuel price hike and demand on a new minimum wage. Most businesses were open, although reduced traffic in some spots were observed. A few hundreds placard-carrying protesters marched in most state capitals. NLC were also protesting against tuition fee hike in public schools and without salaries of lecturers and workers in universities. Benson Upa, NLC's Head of Information and Public Affairs, speaks further.
Mr. President knows our demands. They are well articulated and they have been submitted to him. He should do the needful. We are protesting to save the poor from further debt.
President Bola Tinubu has embarked on Nigeria's borders reforms in decades, scrapping the popular but expensive subsidy and relaxing foreign exchange regime. The reforms have been welcomed by investors, but the people say they have led to soaring costs at a time when Nigerians are already grappling with highest inflation in nearly 2 decades. The NLC and the Trade Union Congress (TUC), Nigeria's two main labor federations, represents millions of workers across most sectors of Africa's biggest economy, including parts of the oil industry. The unions had said the strike would have lasted at least 1 week had they not resolved to suspend further protest after holding a meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Reflecting on the union's decision to suspend the industrial action, Tinubu assured the labor leaders that they will continue to work for the best interests of Nigeria. Meanwhile, the apex body of all Yoruba indigenous people, Yoruba Council Worldwide, has told Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and other organized labor unions in the country to start engaging state governors and heads of various government agencies in the pursuit of providing a recipe to the current economic hardship occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy. This was as the group said, federal government alone could not be held responsible for the things that the state governments ought to do within their domains. The group, through its global president, Oladotun Hassan, said the organized labor unions should engage in dialogue and constructive engagement with state governors rather than focusing attention on the federal government alone, urging them to be strategic and assertive on their demands. Hassan stated further that Labour should also be able to build constructive engagement with presidency, Senate presidency, and the governors. He added that governors are more involved in the area of internally generated revenue to ameliorate the sufferings of the people through the provision of palliatives. The new national chairman of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Abdullahi Ganduje, has promised to ensure strict internal democracy within the ruling party. He stated this after his ratification by the National Working Committee (NWC) of the party. Ganduje was confirmed by NEC as chairman, while Ajibola Bashiru becomes the national secretary of the party. Speaking after his confirmation, Ganduje also promised to embark on reforms within the party to align with the current political landscape. He added that more reforms will be carried out in the party in alignment with the current political landscape. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, says the commission may approach the National Assembly for legislation that will enable its officials on duty and others who work on election days to be able to vote. Yakubu said journalists and security agents such as policemen, soldiers and others should be able to cast their ballots during elections despite being on official duty. Professor Yakubu, who spoke in Lagos during a post-election review meeting with media stakeholders, stressed that the Commission may approach the National Assembly to amend the law to accommodate Nigerians that were unable to vote because of the nature of their jobs. At present, the 2023 general elections He maintained that the commission had nothing to hide and did no wrong. Yakubu said there were many positive things that came out of the 2023 elections despite the many challenges. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. We'll take a break now. Do stay with us.
Win an all-expense-paid trip to Disneyland in the Indomie Golden Magnet promo. To participate, just buy the Indomie 70-gram pack and look for the magnet inside. Log into www.indomie.ng/Golden Magnet promo to fill in your details and enter your unique magnet code. All the Golden Magnet winners will get to experience the wonders of Disneyland. Silver Magnet winners stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Every pack of Indomie you buy comes with your favorite indomitable magnet. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you. Win an all-expense-paid trip to Disneyland in the Indomie Golden Magnet promo. To participate, just buy the Indomie 70-gram pack and look for the magnet inside. Log into www.indomie.ng/Golden Magnet promo to fill in your details and enter your unique magnet code. All the Golden Magnet winners will get to experience the wonders of Disneyland. Silver Magnet winners stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Every pack of Indomie you buy comes with your favorite indomitable magnet. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. You can watch us live on our website, www.osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV. And on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, Osrc TV Ondo. The federal government says gas would continue to form a major part of the country's energy mix until 2030. Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, gave the assurance at the Society for Petroleum Engineers Nigeria Council 2023 conference held in Lagos. Komolafe said although federal government was still committed to achieving the United Nations 2060 zero emission goals, Nigeria would continue to explore its abundant gas resources for the development of its communities. He added that the government was hoping to achieve part of the target through the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Limited's Train 7, Nigeria, Morocco, and Ajaokuta gas pipeline projects. Mr. Komolafe also revealed that the target is to grow Nigeria's gas reserves from the current 209.5 trillion cubic feet to 600 trillion cubic feet in the nearest future. 3 out of every 4 pupils in Nigerian primary schools are poor in literacy and numeracy. According to the United Nations Children's Fund assessment, Nigeria has a severe learning crisis, with 75% of children unable to read or solve a simple maths problem. The Global Agency's Chief of Education in Nigeria, Sadna Pondan Sobrian, revealed this at the Foundational Literacy and Numeracy Seminar in Maiduguri, Borno State. Pandya Sobrian advised that the problem must be tackled from the grassroots level immediately in order to check out of school menace. West Africa's regional bloc says a military intervention in junta-ruled Niger was the last resort as Nigeria cut electricity supplies to intensify pressure on the country's coup leaders. As ex-colonial power France sent in the 5th plane to evacuate its citizens, coup leader General Abdurrahman Tiani insisted they had no reason to quit the country. Joining the departures, the United States ordered a partial evacuation of its embassy in Niamey. Economic Community of West African States leaders imposed trade and financial sanctions, giving the coup leaders a week to reinstate Niger's democratically elected president or face a possible use of force. President Bola Tinubu has called on the United Kingdom government to deepen its partnership with Nigeria and Africa by investing more across sectors to see the African continent attain more sustainable and broad-based prosperity. This is just as the United Kingdom has given its consent to steps being taken by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum of the Niger Republic. who was sacked by presidential guards in Niamey last week. The president made the call while playing host of United Kingdom Secretary of Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs, James Cleverly, at the State House, Abuja, calling on the UK to commit more to win-win development partnerships for Nigeria and Africa. President Tinubu noted that security would remain a challenge as long as there are unstable governments in the sub-region. In the crowded situation in the Sahel region and Horn of Africa, where terrorists are finding comfort, asking the government of UK to support Nigeria to secure West Africa. A man who opened fire on a synagogue in the United States, killing 11 people in the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in the country's history, has been sentenced to death. A 12-member federal jury unanimously ruled that Robert Bowers should be executed for the mass shooting at Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 2018. The jury found Bowers guilty of dozens of federal hate crimes in June after an emotional trial at the U.S. District Court in Pittsburgh. Akintunde Akishemola has details.
A federal jury in the United States has sentenced Robert Bowers to death for killing 11 worshippers at Pittsburgh Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018. Survivors of the mass shooting said Bowers yelled, "All Jews must die," as he perpetrated the worst anti-Semitic attack in history. In June, jurors found the 50-year-old guilty of all 63 charges, including federal hate crime charges. In federal capital cases, a unanimous vote by jurors in the penalty phase of the trial is required in order to sentence a defendant to death. In the sentencing phase, prosecutors argue that Bowers had a necessary intent and premeditation to qualify for the death penalty, saying he carefully planned the attack and deliberately targeted elderly worshippers. Defense attorney offered no dispute that he planned and carried out the attack, but argued that Bowers suffers from a major mental illness, including schizophrenia, and also lacked necessary level of intent. Jurors also had evidence including multiple posts filled with anti-Semitic slurs and conspiracy theories, which is shared on Gab, a social medical platform popular with far-right extremists. Akintunde Akinshomola for Osrc News.
And now to sports. All is now set for the commencement of this year's annual summer tennis clinic in Akure, the state capital. Wife of Ondo State Governor Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, while encouraging the planning committee towards the successful implementation of this year's edition, urged them to put in their best, even in her absence, to achieve a desired result. Unveiling the program for this year, Mrs. Anyanwu Akeredolu announced 30th of August to the 8th of September as the date for the 6th edition of the Summer Tennis Clinic. Government House reporter Omoriola Ngbeji has more.
For the past 6 years, wife of Ondo State Governor Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, in collaboration with Ondo State Sports Council, has been engaging children between the ages of 4 and 13 in tennis clinic, not only to catch fun, but also to discover talents among them. So far, hundreds of children have benefited from this initiative, with more expected to participate at this year's tennis clinic.
I want to welcome you to the planning committee.
Unveiling this year's plan, Chairman, Planning Committee, and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Gender, Olamide Falana, maintained that parents always look forward to activities that are educating, informative, and enlightening for children, hence the need for proper planning and implementation. According to her, children who have passed through the training over the years are now doing well, representing the state and the country following the vision of the governor's wife.
As we know, it's usually a lot of work and a lot of fun. So I want to encourage all of us that as much as we had that cooperation last year, let us try to also bond together again this year and ensure that we can have a very seamless implementation and we can impact maximally in our children.
Briefing the committee on the report of the 5th Summer Tennis Clinic, Secretary of the committee, Kendi Odogun, said the initiative, which was held in the 3 senatorial districts of the state, was successful.
We had 2 sponsors from abroad who came with different kinds of items to support and to show that what our brain has been doing in Ondo State cannot be overemphasized.
Encouraging the committee on the line, the governor's wife, Mrs. Betty Anyawakredolu, charged them to put in their best in ensuring the success of this year's clinic.
I reiterate the confidence I have in the committee of 2022 because you did well, so why not?
Thank you, Ma.
You can go, yes, you can go ahead, and my absence should not make any difference. After all, that's the only way you can beat your chest and say, oh, this organization or this group activities are sustainable. If the founder is not there and everything goes on, that's a mark of progress and a remarkable one. And I want to believe that you will pull through. So I have the confidence that you will do it well, as usual.
The committee has since set out for a H-Free Year 2023 program. Omoriola Humbeji, Osrc News.
And still on sports, the final of the 5th edition of Akogwu Annual Football Competition will come up tomorrow, August 4, 2023. The competition is an avenue for discovering raw talents for soccer development in Ondo State, especially in Akoko land. According to the organizer of the tournament and a former member of Ondo State House of Assembly, Akogwu Gbenga Omole, the 5th edition of the tournament will feature an ex-Super Eagles captain and goalkeeper, Peter Rufai. 20 clubs are participating in this year's edition, with a grand finale built for Ojomiri High School, Okakoko, by 4 p.m. And still on sports, South Africa's stunning 3-2 win over Italy at the Women's World Cup has sparked celebrations at home and won presidential praise on the eve of the country's opening gambit in a bid to host the 2017 edition of the tournament. The victory, a first for the side at a World Cup finals, sealed the passage into the round of 16, where they will face the Netherlands on Sunday and could also have longer-term implications for the development of the game in the country.
It's amazing for the women. They've come really, really far. Given everything, they really deserve this. They played their hearts out tonight.
Very excited.
The squad have put behind them a pre-tournament row with the South African Football Association over bonuses and displayed a marked improvement from the team that lost all 3 games at the World Cup debut in France 4 years ago. Meanwhile, Morocco have joined Nigeria and South Africa in the round of 16 after posting a surprise victory over Colombia in the last group game. And before we go tonight, let's take another look at the major stories. A bill for the creation of new local government areas in Ondo State has made appreciable progress at the State House of Assembly. Former Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has promised internal democracy and reforms after he was picked as ruling All Progressives Congress National Chairman. We brought to you that President Bola Tinubu has called on the United Kingdom to deepen partnership with Nigeria and Africa. And from the foreign scene, a United States jury has passed death penalty on the 2018 killer of 11 synagogue members. That's the news. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.